Okay, so good evening, everyone. So welcome to the project phase onboarding, right? Um,
Your voice is
so
cracking.
the essence of this meeting is to, in on the kickoff. So, hello, please somebody confirm you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna kickstart, right? We're gonna kickstart. Sorry about that.
I hear you. It's actually very good.
Okay, so that's fine. So we'll start with Benny. Benny, you're going to be giving us the icebreaker session. So I think for maybe 5 minutes or so, or let's keep it at 10 maximum, right? And then, of course, Victory is going to just take us on the next session, which is the Code Camp journey. So, Benny, I think at this point, I'll hand over to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Benjamin Amor by name. I'm a UI UX beginner. So they will be playing two games. Since I'm giving 5 minutes max, we'll be taking 5 minutes for each of them. The first game will be two truth and a lie. So we are going to use a comment section, or I think then if you want to speak out, you can also do that by the lift of and then I'll appoint you. How the game goes is um, it's two truths and a lie. You have to drop three statements. And no, please, I'm not from them. All right, you have to drop three statements, and in the statement, it has to be two truths and a lie. Like it's only you that will know which is the truth and which is a lie. And we, as the participants, will try to detect which one is a lie and which one is the truth. Now, think I will start so as to be organized. I'm going to mention someone. I'm going to call someone because if I ask that someone should volunteer, we'll take till tomorrow. So I'm going to call someone, and then I'll ask you give us three statements. Two has to be a truth, and one has to be a lie. Then the person that dropped the statement will also appoint someone to give the answer to that. Let me make it go around first. So we'll start the first game now. So it has to be two true. Please note, let us not make it that obvious. Let's be creative. Don't make the lie so obvious and don't make the truth so obvious. And it can be like you can write something about your experience in CodeCamp. You can write things about your hobbies, your achievements, even like it's a general knowledge. So I hope we all get it. Any question before I proceed? Any question before I proceed? Can use the chat box. The child of God. Okay, I'll take the no chats now as that there is no question. So I'm going to call on Chisom. Chisom, please you can unmute your mic and tell us two truth and a lie. Chisom, please can you hear me? Okay, Chisom is not responding. So do we have any volunteer before I go ahead to choose the next person I want to? Any volunteer, please, you can lift up your hand first, then I'll give you the privilege to unmute your mic. Please, time is ticking. Let's make this fun, please. The second game will be very interesting. And I think I might even give someone from my pocket gift to if anybody that wins. Yeah, okay. Let's okay, one okay. Sorry, Alaquaibum, this name might be hard to pronounce. Um you just dropped you just dropped a message. I mean, so you okay? Please, I might pronounce that wrongly. But please, can you unmute your mic and then give us three statements, two truth, and a lie. Let's go. Yeah, we can, but your voice is down. Please be audible.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I'm going to mention two truths and a lie. Okay, let's go. So I don't know about Linux, and I'm a university student, and I'm not in Nigeria. Those are my sentences. Those are what I want to say.
Okay. All right. But actually, those were very simple now. All right. So who wants to give an answer to that? Those were so obvious, but we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I want to give an answer.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. But please note next time lift your hand, please. Thank you.
My hand is up.
Okay. Okay. I didn't say you can go ahead, but anyways, continue, sir.
Oh, sorry about that. He just made it obvious. Two truths and a lie. So the first two that he said were the truths, and then the last was the lie.
Okay, so he's a Nigerian and he's a university student. So the Nigerian is a lie. Anyways, okay, can we have another attempt before? Let me have two participants before the Oga Pata Pata says is what tells us what the truth is. Okay, I saw a hand here. Um, Godwin Umorin.
Okay, please, what they said the first one was? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please. Ami, please. Sorry, this name is fun. Please, the next time you unmute your mic, please pronounce your name for me so I don't get it wrong next time. Please repeat the question again. Sorry, your statement. Make your statement again. Your voice is low, please.
My name is Amin. Very simple.
Okay.
Amin.
Ami. Thank you.
Two syllables.
Okay. Please, he says he wants to get the question again. Sorry, your statement. Make your statement again. The three statements you made. Sorry, your voice is low, please.
The number one statement I made was that I don't know Linux. I'm not familiar with Linux. Number two is that I'm a university student. Number three, I'm not in Nigeria.
Okay. All right, Godwin.
Okay. Okay, good evening. My name is Godwin Warren. I feel your number one statement is false. You don't know.
Okay, so he's actually not a Nigerian and he's not a university student. And he doesn't know Linux. So you are saying which one is true and which one is false? You just mentioned one that he does not know Linux. So which other one is that's false? Okay, the other one are true that he is not a Nigerian and he's also not a university student. All right, I'm in place. What's the correct? Which one are who and who is correct among the two persons that did try? Or tell us which one is the truth and which one is the false.
All right. Well, I actually arranged them in the order that you said them. So I'm very familiar with Linux. I have like a lot of experience with it. Also, I'm a university student. I'm in my finals, and I live in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. I need two people. I needed three people for this game. So we have 1, 2 to go before we move to the next game. All right, Soji, congratulations. All right, who is going again? I just need 2 hands. Then we'll move on to the second game. The second game, I will need 10 volunteers. Please do well to notify me, or I'll pick up random. Or please, all of us the volunteers will now. Okay, please. I need one person for the two truth and a lie. A person, please. Who is going? All right. Jessam.
Okay.
Jessam.
My first statement.
All right, two truth and a lie.
Okay. My first statement is that I'm not in the university. 2,
Okay.
I've met boss, that's KodeCamp. I've met him before. And then the third question, the third statement is I don't have a family.
Okay. All right. So, your first statement is that you are not in the university, and your second is that you've met the KodeCamp boss, and the third one is that you do not have a family. All right. Let's have someone that is going to try that. Who can attempt? Okay. He has a family, so that's the truth. From black. Okay. Who is attempting it? Who is attempting it? Who is attempting it? I can't see hands. Who is attempting it? David.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
All right. Good evening.
Actually, the lie was he's a university student. Okay, wait. What was the question? Actually, I think I
Okay.
get it from.
Let me go about it again. It says he is not in the university, and
Okay.
sorry, is this noise from your background?
Hello. Can you hear me, please?
Okay. Yes, we can. So he says he's not in the university and that he has missed the KodeCamp boss and he does not have a family. Those were the three statements.
Okay. The truth is, he has a family, and
Okay, so
he has a family. Then the two of them are yeah, he has a family. He's not in the university, which is a true.
Okay.
And he has met the KodeCamp boss is a lie.
Okay, he has made the KodeCamp boss a lie, which automatically makes that he doesn't have a family. True. Remember, you're looking at two truths and a lie. So
yeah,
you're saying it's not. Okay, so he doesn't have a family is a lie.
No, the lie is he hasn't met the KodeCamp boss. Yeah, that's the lie.
So he doesn't have a family is the truth. Then he's not in the university is the truth. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw a hand. Tiense.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The lie there is He said he's not in the university. He is in the university. He has a family. That one is the truth.
You know, he said he doesn't have a family. That was the statement he made.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie. And the first two are the truth.
Okay, the first two. Okay, all right. So this was the last contestant. Let's give it up to the guy that spoke. Please, which one is the true and which one is the lie? Hello? Please, if you were the second contestant, please do well to unmute your mic and tell us who is correct among the two of them and which one is the truth and which one is a lie. All right, no response from him. So I'll go ahead to take it over from here. He's not in the university. I think it's obviously the truth, and he has made the KodeCamp boss is the truth, and he doesn't have a family. Please, who doesn't have a family? There, like we have families. It could be an extended family, and he surely has a family. So he doesn't have a family is a lie. So the two before that, they're all true. All right, please let me have volunteers for the last game. Let me have volunteer for the last game. We are running out of time.
Okay, sorry, Benny. Let me just take it over from you. Thank you very much.
All
I
right,
think Jasam's, yeah, thank you very much. Jasam, okay, I think he stepped out. So Jasam, just unmute and just answer. I think everybody wants to know the answer. Some persons want to know if you have met me before, since you said you have met me before, or you don't have a family. So what's the answer? Quickly. Okay, so I think we'll move on, right? Let's move on. So this time you can actually drop your answer on the chat. We do not have much time for that. So we'll go to the next section. Victory, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Okay, over to you then.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, IKS, for the opportunity. Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. So my name is Victory Wachi, UI UX track, intermediate level. All right. So for this session, we are going to be talking about our experience so far in KodeCamp 3.0. I know for sure, for everybody, it's undeniable that we've gained one or two things, or even more than one or two things from KodeCamp. But then we just want to know individual personal experiences or how you felt so far. Like what you've gained, your experiences, how has it been? Tough, easy for the channels, tough for the newbies, how has it been? So we're going to be having 5 people, just 5 people. So if you'd like to volunteer, you can just raise your hands now. And if I don't have volunteers, I'll be picking randomly. So volunteers. All right, that's 2 people. We need 3 more. 3. We need 2 more. We need 2 more people. All right, that's fine. 5 people already. No, Benny. Benny already spoke to this. So, and Jason, can we have 2 other people to release them? To replace them rather. Thank you. I have 2 more people. 2 more people. Okay, I mean, you want to talk, right? But you can't find your raise hand button. All right, there's no problem. It's in your reactions. Just click on reactions. You will see it. You will see it. All right. So one more person. I mean, please raise your hand so that I can just follow. Thank you. One more person. All right, while we are waiting for the 5th person, let's start. So we're starting with Soji. Soji, please. So first, you introduce yourself like I did, your name, your track, and your level. Then just give us a brief, very brief, yeah, experience in KodeCamp so far. So Soji, over to you now. Brother Soji, are you away?
Yeah, good evening. My
Good
name
evening.
is my name is Soji Olagunju. I'm a UI UX designer, beginner level. And I think KodeCamp so far has been stressful and nice at the same time. And on the
Stressful and
on
nice.
the nice level, I think I've been meeting, yes, during my tasks, when I've been doing my tasks, I've been meeting nice people that have been assisting me and giving me clue that sometimes I'll be lost. I will just receive comments on my tasks and I will not know where to start from or where to continue from. And when I try to chat people, I receive help that will quickly, like it will help me meet up with the speed. But the stress level is how would I say it? Let's say trying to do the task, because most time, we're in Nigeria and the light issue is one of the problems. So whenever the tax or
Yeah,
whenever
light.
they drop tax for us, yes, whenever they drop tax for us, I might not have time to do it during the day because there might not be lights and the laptop will be low. I will be having a low battery. And by the time they will bring the lights, it will be around midnight from 12 to 6. So I have to stay awake and start doing tasks. And when I wake up in the morning again and start my daily activity, I'll be feeling tired. And it will look as if I'm regretting that. Why am I stressing myself? God have been helping me. I've not given up, and I really could not give up.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Soji. I believe everybody can actually relate to this stressful and nice part. All right, so we're going to be having David Dozier now. David Dozier.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is David Mbede. As a front-end developer beginner, I mean, the experience has been a nice one from starting to know the HTML tag and everything using our IDE, which is our code editor.
Wow.
I mean, it has been a very nice experience in KodeCamp, and I thank to our mentors who has keep teaching us to keep up through this stage.
All
So
right.
actually, it has been a stressful experience too, with everything that has been going on, submitting tasks, doing the tasks. And one lovely thing about me, well, for what I want to say about the front end, seeing the UI and everything that you have done so far. And sometimes when you go back to the old tasks, you can really you can really say, yeah, I've done something for myself, and
Yeah.
that's really great. Yeah, so I love the journey so far, and I believe that the grit that have kept us going will always be with us. Yeah, so that's
Amen.
all I have to say.
Thank you, David. Thank you. All right, so we're going to have Ayodeji Oluwadunsin now. Thank you. David, you can drop your hands. Thank you. Ayodeji,
Okay, good evening, guys.
good evening.
Good evening, guys. I think first and foremost, I would just want to appreciate people that code camp, like people that have been in fueling code camp from the start to where we are or for previous code camps, in fact. So my name is Ayode Jolo Johnson, and I'm in beginner UI track. So my journey so far, well, code camp has been demanding in a very good way for me, actually. The
Okay.
task, initially, I opted in for the intermediate track of UI UX, but well, things happened and I'm in beginner, beginner level. And I'm actually grateful for being in the beginner level again. I had to relearn. I couldn't complete the 2.0 because of some technical issues. My laptop spoiled last year, but
Ooh.
right now I'm even grateful that I was not in intermediate, so that I had to relearn some things, get better at some particular things, and and all. So like I said, code camp has been demanding, and awesome. Actually, awesome. The
Awesome.
they are actually willing to teach, and they are willing to train people despite the um sometimes the questions, despite everything. They are there to actually help, to ensure that we are actually moving moving in that sense. So CodeCamp has been, I would recommend CodeCamp always. And just like the guy that spoke before me, I am hoping that as many of us that have started or that have, been grateful enough, I don't know if there's anything like that, have been
I
grateful
get you.
enough, yes, will actually end maybe in flying colors. Yeah, in that sense. So thank you
All
so much,
right.
CodeCamp. Thank you so much, Aikis. Thank you so much, Anibet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, too. So yeah, that's my CodeCamp experience.
Thank you, Ayodeji. I really hope Khalid and Amin are not UI UX persons. I really, really hope. So Ayodeji, you can drop your hand. Thank you. So Amin Shokoya, let's have you. Amin, are you still on the call with us?
Of
All
course.
right.
How would I be?
All
All right.
right. Thank you.
So yeah, my name is Amin Shokoye. I'm in the beginner Android developer track.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
let me say a little bit about myself. So before I joined this program, I was learning Java. So um, I later found out that Java is not it is deprecated for Android. You don't really use it much. So I found out that Kotlin is what is now used. So Kotlin and Java are interoperable. So carried my Java knowledge into Kotlin. So that's really helped me a lot in understanding what is being taught.
Okay.
So uh, before before I also got into CodeCamp, I know a lot about Android and about routing phones, custom ROMs, a lot about the Android ecosystem, and so due to the love of that brought me. So moving on, I CodeCamp has not really been difficult for me. Like just
Wow.
at all, like just normal. Like I feel it should be.
Just normal
I've
stuff.
done,
Yeah, I get.
I've done more. So I actually chose the beginner track because I don't have a lot of experience. I should have chosen the intermediate, but I felt there's still a knowledge gap that I have to fill. So that's why I'm doing the beginner track. And well,
Beautiful.
it has been fine. It has been fine because personally, yeah, on Android, there are two ways of building UIs, Jetpack Compose and XML. So personally, I've been learning Jetpack Compose because it is easier and it's a declarative approach. But in CodeCamp, they're using XML, which I understand because those companies, they use XML. It is the older approach, so they've not made the switch. So I love that part. But one part I think they should improve on is we only do videos. Yeah, we only do videos and then that's all. We leave learners to figure out things by themselves. Coding is not something you can just learn. Don't know if you get me. Coding is not something you can
Okay.
just learn with videos. Personally, I do better with text, reading documentations. I don't really like videos. In fact, when the video drops, I try as much I watch it in 3 times speed, and then I go ahead to read the documentation, and then I'm fine. I don't really love watching videos. So what I'm suggesting is, after the videos, if the tutors can drop like a slide or something of
Okay.
what they thought, and then it's going to do better because the human brain, what we see takes better than what we just like. If you can read a text, it's much faster to read the text and focus on it than watching a video. Watching a video, I don't know if you get me. So
Okay, so I
that's
mean,
that.
are you telling us that you don't watch movies?
I watch movies, but I watch it in like
Oh,
two
but you
times.
don't like to watch tutorial videos. We understand. It's totally fine.
No, no,
All right.
don't get me wrong. I watch movies,
I get it was a joke.
but
It was a joke
if
actually.
I'm learning,
All
yeah, I get
right.
you. So
Yeah.
So if I have any more observations, of course, I'm going to share them. But
Thank
that's
you
what
for your observations.
do more for
Thank
new, because to learn a test skill is not easy. So that's my
you.
input. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Amin. Thank you. All right. So to our last person for tonight, Khalid. Amin, please, you can mute your mic and drop your hands. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Khalid Duale, and a UI UX beginner.
Again, UI UX people again. All right, let's just have you. Fine.
Okay. So CodeCamp has really been fun and challenging actually. So I actually like how challenging it is, because I won't call myself a lazy person, but I like challenge. Something that will actually drive me to make exceptions, or to make me scale through something that will actually seem difficult for me. So the task that they actually given, first task that we're given, I had lesser than the cutoff. So I thought when
Wow.
they said the cutoff was 75, so I was like, so am I going to, is this where it's going to end, like from the beginning? So when they said that I could redo it again and actually pass the second time. So since then, I've made sure that I don't, every time I do the task, I make sure I exceed and exceed exceptionally. So that's one of the things that I actually try and do. So after failing the first time, no, it's not as if I failed, but after getting that first impression, I didn't want to be I didn't want to be like in that position again. So the challenges are actually very, very interesting. The classes are always very fun and interactive. I always try to make sure that I'm in every class, because I don't like going back. I don't like procrastinating. I don't like going back to watch the videos. So it's better for me if I just watch it that particular time, practice it while she's doing her task, designs and everything, so that I can follow up. Because if I say I'm going to watch it later, I'm just going to be deceiving myself. So let me just follow as she's doing it. And also the mentors are very, they're always there to answer our questions. May your crowns, favor Sunday. They're always there. All the stupid questions and everything that I have to ask, anything that I do wrong, once I ask the questions, they're always there to reply me. So it's actually been very fun and nice. So thank you, CodeCamp. It's a very wonderful journey. I can't wait
All
for the
right.
question, please.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this session. So before I mute my mic, can everybody just give a shout out? I know we all saw that meme where they asked this lady to give a shout out to her mom, and she screamed, "No, no, no!" So I want to give a shout out to CodeCamp and to all our mentors, and we'll just be using a reaction. So just use the clap reaction in your reactions, please. Just use clap reaction in your reactions to give a shout out to CodeCamp and our mentors for doing a very good job and helping us so far. Thank you. I I'm done already.
Okay, thank you very much, Victory. But you would actually round this up. What is your own? How is your own code camp journey? How has it been for you? So you tell us yours, and then I'll take over.
Okay, wow. My cold calm journey has been crazy. I first and foremost, when we were asked to do that grit task, I was like, grit task, what's that for? Okay, so when I watched the video, okay, then I understood what the grit task was for. And I felt that really that grit task was necessary because I felt like giving up multiple times, different things just happened that just make me want to give up at the middle. But then I just remember, okay, at the beginning of this course, I did a grit task. As long as they don't say, oh, we don't want you here again, I'm just going to keep doing my best. So code camp for me has been enlightening. It has pushed me, like really, really, it has pushed me to do a lot of things, to do better actually. And I'm really grateful for code camp to everyone, my mentors, Bibi, Boma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Victory. So this is one of the things I was saying. Sometimes you wouldn't really know what people can do, right? Except you kind of give them the opportunity. So, Victory, yeah, I think we'll probably, work more together. Probably you anchor more sessions that will probably have. You will in fact, you will definitely anchor a session in the closing ceremony. So do well to send me a message. I need to have your contact so we can talk more about that. I love your confidence, and that's actually cool. Thank you very much. Um, okay, so let's move on to the business of the day. I think we've had enough time, much more time to get people on the call. So let's just move on. So yeah, we're basically going to be talking about the project phase, right? We're going to be talking about the project phase. And as we all know, KodeCamp is a 4 month training, right? So how we do it is we have 3 months of learning, and then the last month is for working on a capstone project, right? And you guys have actually been doing well so far. Of course, there's a lot of improvements that you need to work on, but you guys have been doing great so far. So, but this is the time where we get to talk about the project phase. So you have an idea of what is in store for you, and to actually prep yourself, right? So basically, the project phase officially, please take note of this, it officially kicks off on the 13th of November. Take note of this, it's very important you keep your dates. Officially it kicks off on the 13th rather of November, right? So and that at that point it means you have gotten into stage 8. So the moment you make it to stage 8, right, it means that you have made it to the final stage, and that's where you get to work on the capstone project, right? So take note of that. So what is this project going to be about? So let me give you a backstory. In 1.0 and in 2.0, this is how we used to do it, right? When you get to stage 8, which is the final stage, we break everybody into teams, right? Which is made up of everyone in a particular track. So each team, we also will give them a name, right? For some of you who have been in the previous cohorts, okay, if you're in the previous cohorts, can you drop the name of your team on the chat? Let me see if I have, let me see how many 1.0 and 2.0 persons are here. If you were part of the finalists in 1.0 or 2.0, what was your team name? Okay. Oh, travel guide. Okay, that's fine. Travel guide. Oh, we'll have 2 travel guide persons here. Interesting. Who else? Just 2 persons. Cynthia Oluchi, I think that's front end, if I'm not mistaken, right? Confirm. Your name sounds familiar. Okay, PMMS. Okay, yes, yeah, good. I remember front end. So that means you should be in React now, if I'm not mistaken, except you did not finish. Yeah, you should be in React now. Okay, so just 3. Wow, that's interesting. So the rest are newbies. It's your first time of joining KodeCamp. Okay, that's also a very good one. Okay, you switched to UI UX. Oh wow. Okay, that's nice. So a lot of travel guide people rather. Hotel management system. Yeah, we did that. We did that. Okay, someone said I didn't reach stage 8. So I hope you will reach stage 8 today. Okay, so yeah, so that's how we did it, right? We gave team names, right? We broke them into groups, and each group, is made up of everyone in, all tracks are represented, right? The UI UX who gets to design the product, the front end who gets to build the web version. If it needs an app version, then we have the Android guys, and then of course the back end, right? So, but we are doing it differently in 3.0. Right, we're doing it very, very differently in 3.0. So in 3.0, right, of course, you will be assigned to a group, right? Each and every one of you has been assigned to a group. If you are not on a group, it means you are not on the LMS. Please take note of that. If you are not in a group, which I'm going to share that document where you get to see the group you fall under, right? It means you are not on the learning management system platform. But each and every one of you have already been grouped, so you can just check the group you are, right? You either see yourself in group 1, 2, 3, or 4, whichever way, right? So you guys will get to name that group yourself. You come up with your own name, right? So we're not going to give you a name. You come up with your own name. But also know that KodeCamp has the right, I'm going to use that word. We can decide to tell you that this name is not cool and change it. So understand that we're going to give you guys a lot of flexibility to make certain decisions, right? But also note that those decisions can be altered. So I need you to be flexible enough and malleable enough to what accept them, right? So just take note of that, right? So yes, you've already been grouped into stages. I'm going to share my screen soon. You get to see that. You get to choose your group name. And the interesting thing is this, you get to choose the product you're going to work on, right? Each group gets to choose the product they will work on. Okay, so some of you may be asking yourself, oh, how do we get to do this? How do we get to do this, right? Okay, so let me share my screen, right? And then let's get to know. So how do you guys come up with, this idea, right? So there are a bit of not really ground rules per se, but more like prerequisites. So let me share my screen quickly. I'm going to share this document on the chat. I'm also going to share it on the Discord, but for now, I want to just don't be in a hurry to send it to me. I need you to pay close attention, which is one skill that a lot of you are still struggling with, and that is understanding a task, right? Understanding an instruction is very, very important. So don't be carried away by whatever you see or whatever. Just focus on understanding. And at the point where we're taking questions, right? Do well to ask, right? So there's this saying, who asks question need a misroad, right? So, okay. So let me know when you can see my screen on the chat, but I believe it should be up by now. Yes, yeah, it's up. So here it is rather, the CodeCamp capstone project details, right? So for an introduction, right? So as part of graduation requirements from the CodeCamp program, every participant is required to work on a final project. And it's actually designed to position you to deliver a real world solution. Pay attention to those three words, right? Real world solution. Okay. Now, so you are required to deliver a solution that leverages technology in delivering its solution, and it should solve a real life problem in any of the following areas, right? It could be agriculture. So I gave a few examples there. You can check that out, right? They're actually what products that have been designed or built. You can just search it, right? Farm Crowdy, Thrive Agri. It can be in finance, that is a fintech application. It could be education, that's edtech. It could be healthcare, that's medtech. It could be media and entertainment, right? It could also be transportation. Whichever of these areas, please mute your mic, please. Very careful. Okay. So it could be in either of these areas, right? So you as a group, you guys come together, right? And you decide what you guys want to work, what you guys want to actually build, right? So the criteria is this: your capstone project to be evaluated based on the following criteria. Number one is that the solution must be feasible. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't try to go and build a product that will tell us that in Mars, right, you have loamy soil there. In Mars, you have sandy soil, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. It's not how big, because a lot of times, when I teach some of my undergraduate students personally, right, not online, right, mostly on site, right? One of the things I tell them is have a product that you will build at the end of your training. It doesn't have to be too big. A lot of times we have this greed and big eye, want to build something so large, right? Want to build, and it takes a lot of time, right? So it doesn't have to be too big, right? At the same time, it doesn't have to be too small, but it should be what feasible. It should be what feasible. Okay. So it must have a commercial what potential, meaning that it should be attractive to paying customers or clients, or it could have a social potential. Probably it is attractive to people who want to donate, or the government institutions, right, that can actually adopt that solution. So it's very important. It should also be scalable, meaning that it can actually grow. It can encompass, it can actually grow to become something much bigger, right? It can scale. It must be technology enabled, right? And it's also important there's a sense of originality and innovation, right? So don't just go and copy something, right? There should be a sense, there should be a sense of originality, right, and innovation in your what products. Okay. So just to be sure, please, can you hear me? I know I've said a lot of things. If you can hear me, just either on the chat or you raise your hand. I need to be sure. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, so that means we're together. Okay, yeah, so still part of the criteria, quality of the design and user experience. So it's very important, right? Please. This I wouldn't really say this. Well, first of all, it hinges on the designers. It hinges on you guys first, right? So whoever it's design, you need to make sure that there's quality in your design, and the user experience is important. You've learned user experience, right? Beginner, intermediate, right? So it's not all about the fact that you have a product. Does the user actually have a good experience when using that product, right? That's very key. So apply every knowledge you have been taught into designing your product. And of course, for the developers who are going to bring the product to life, you need to make sure that what you see, right, on the design is what you're able to replicate, right? So you don't, so that we don't have what you ordered versus what you got. Okay, so there should be technical proficiency and functionality, right? Developers you should be proficient, right? The functionality should be there. So don't just give us something that is not working and tell us that it will work later. So I just press it now. It will work later. For now, it's just there. But when you press it next week, it will work. No, that shouldn't be the case, right? And of course, professionalism rather of the final presentation and demonstration. So it I just saw something on your chat. Yeah, it works on my end. So it should not just work on your end, right? On the final day, it should work on everybody's end. Okay, very important, please. Okay, so yeah, moving on, right? So professionalism of the final presentation and demonstration. So, right, so when you act, because you will demo what you've done, what you've built, so you should be professional when you're presenting, right? Very important. One of the presentations that I will never forget in a hurry, and I believe I'm speaking the mind of my fellow mentors, right, and trainers, is a presentation done by Blessing Akinola. I think that was in 2.0. Is that 2.0 or 1.0? I'm not sure. If somebody can remind me, that's fine. But that presentation was epic, right? Because it also felt like he was actually marketing the product. Like the only thing that was remaining, okay, 1.0, good. The only thing that's remaining is just for me to bring out money. I said, okay, fine, let's build it. Let's start getting customers, right? That was actually epic. Yeah, it was iconic, right? It was a moderator, right? That was a very nice one. So for some of you, if you need hints, his name is Blessing Akinola. Just look for him on Discord and tell him to give you one or two hints, right? Or you can just go to our YouTube channel, right? Closing ceremony in KodeCamp 1.0, and then you just watch the video. I think you hear him speak there. Okay, so here are a few guidelines for selecting and developing your brand or brand slash your solution, right? First of all, identify a target audience and a specific problem or need that your product or solution will address, right? I think that's actually just clear enough. I don't need to explain that, right? Who are you building the solution for? That's just the summary of this whole long, statement, right? Conduct your market research and competitor analysis to identify gaps and opportunities. So the designers, you guys are actually ones that will actually do this, right? Develop a brand identity and positioning for your product or solution. So when you're coming up with an idea, give it a brand identity, brand it, right? Create a detailed plan for developing and launching your product or solution, including a timeline, budget, and team roles, right? These are actually just straightforward stuff. Your product must be tech-driven and tech-enabled. Every product must have a website and a mobile app prototype design. So for the designers, I should see actually, I think I skipped something there, but of course, you just learn that, right? When you're designing a website, you're also designing the mobile responsive website, right? How does it look? The mobile responsive, you guys understand what I'm saying, the designers. And there should also be a mobile app prototype design. Okay, that's for design. But of course, if in the development, there's no need for the mobile application, right? So that means the developers don't need to build that. So there's no need for that design. But if there's a mobile app, if there is, which there should be, right? But if there is not, then there's no need for that. But if there's a mobile app person under your team, it means you have to design a mobile app for the person to build it. So your product must have its own internet accessible platform, as a website or mobile app. I think that's just reiterating that is working on the day of presentation, right? So in as much as you will actually have a slide that kind of talks about it a bit, we need to actually, it needs to be demoed. So it needs to be live, right? It needs to be working. I need to have a URL, www.this to test it. I need to have, for the app guys, I need to have somewhere where I can download the application. It must not be on Play Store. There are other platforms where you can actually host your application, right? We should be able to test it and be sure that it is working, and then make sure your project is solving a problem using technology. So that's just that. So the expected output, your capstone project should include the following deliverables. So there should be a project proposal and market research report, brand identity and positioning document, a working prototype of your tech solution or product, and the final presentation and demonstration of your product or solutions. When I say working prototype, I'm basically just saying if it's a website, I need to have a URL, right? I need to be able to click on this, and I see it live, right? And then of course, so this is one thing. I'm just going to drop this here, right? I'm going to drop this. We'll still talk about it, but I think it's one or two things. I want something that's actually been, it has actually occurred twice in both cohorts. But let me just drop this here. When you're presenting, right, designers, you don't have to demo your design, your Figma. You demo the product, because it is not the developers that designed the product, you did. So if we are seeing it live, we know that you people are the one that actually designed it. So you don't have to start showing us your prototype, your Figma board. It's not necessary. Okay, so let me just drop that there so you have that at the back of your mind. Okay, moving on, right? So I'll still share this document with us, right? This particular document, I'll share it with you. And then of course, when you click here, right, it will take you to the sheet where you have the groups, right? So for the deadline for project idea submission, so this is it, right? When you meet as a group, you have to come up with the what idea. What product or what solution are you proposing, right? What solution are you proposing? You have to, kind of get that out. And that has to be presented to KodeCamp on the 18th of October. That has to be submitted rather on the 18th of October, and then we'll, more like a follow-up. We'll just fix a meeting where you get to probably give you guys a review, right? So it will be submitted then, but we can fix it there for presentation later on. So you have from today down to 18th to get your idea together and present it. So when I mean present it, I don't mean you now tell me the name. No, it means you have to go the extra mile. Okay, this is the idea, right? It means you have to also even give it a brand identity earlier on. You should have the name. Okay, fine. This is what we're going to name it. This is why we chose this. This is the problem we discovered. This is the solution. This is how we want to solve it. So you need to present your idea to KodeCamp, right? And you need to submit it rather on the 18th of October by 12 p.m. That's the deadline. Now listen carefully. A lot of you joke with deadlines. And I think I've reiterated this a lot, right? You can joke with it, but to an extent, it will cost you. In fact, to even be honest with you, it is costing you already. Because, listen carefully, every one of you, and let me give you a spoiler, right? This is the spoiler. Every one of you is in a group, regardless of your stage. Whether you're in stage 0, or stage 1, or stage 2, or stage 3, or stage 4, or stage 5. Every one of you is in a group. But not every one of you will work on this project. Right? So this actually this should be a booster, right? Towards push yourself towards meetup, because it is those who get to the final stage, which is stage 8, at the time that they should. Listen carefully. Right now, you're stage 2, for example, a stage 2 task is dropped. Say you're submitting, let's say, for example, today by 8 p.m., and you leave it and submit 2 weeks later, and then they still grade you. You don't know that 2 weeks later, that 2 weeks later, KodeCamp has moved to probably stage 4. And when they're in stage 4, that's where you're entering stage 3, right? It has costed you already because you're behind. Now, what am I saying? When you get to stage 8, there is no second chance. If, for example, this last task that takes you to stage 8, right, which is the stage 7 task, right, once it is dropped, and let's say the deadline for submitting it is 12 p.m. on Saturday, I'm giving an example. Once it is 12:01, nobody can submit. I'm shutting down that. It's not you won't even be able to. When you click, it will not work. Once it is 12:01, it is shut down. Now it is only those who have submitted one and those who after being graded, they meet the cutoff mark, right? Those are the persons who will work on the capstone project. Second thing is this: if you submit and you don't meet the cutoff mark, we will drop comments for you, right? For the designers, we'll try to tell, but we will not give you a second chance. So there is no resubmission. There is no, I submitted the wrong link. Sir, please, my laptop all of a sudden grew wings and flew away. So in the process of me trying to get it back, I mistakenly did Control V and pasted whatever excuse you may what's the word? You may put up with. Maybe you'll have headache in your ear, like all of a sudden you have heat under your palm, anything, like your great grandmother came up from the grave and people had to wash her and get her prepared to press. I will not listen, right? I will not listen. So please, please, and please, time. Managing time is something that every human being has to do, whether you like it or not. Is that you're using it or you're misusing it, right? And you need to learn this skill now because you will need it when you actually advance in your life. It's not just this is not just a skill you learn or a habit or a character, whatever you want to call it, that you learn just for CodeCamp. It's something you can apply everywhere. Right. So please take note of that because I'm saying it now so it doesn't feel like you come to meet me and now give me an explanation of how probably a truck carrying cement hits you and you survived. I will sympathize with you, right? I will sympathize with you, okay? And if I am touched, so touched, I will even place a call just to hear your voice. I could even pray with you. I could declare over your life, but I will not bring you to the project phase, right? So please, so don't be heartbroken, okay? You have time to make it up. I know you can. That's the truth. And if you think about it, you know you can actually meet up. If you really calm down and think about it, you know you can actually meet up. For some of you who are saying university, don't worry, you can't. See, a lot of persons, I don't think there is if there's anybody that has nothing doing, like nothing at all, raise your hand. Let's see if we can even do a statistic. Anybody here that has nothing that he or she is doing, nothing. Right? So that's the thing, right? Um, you just have to, your university is not going to wait for you. If it is a 4-year course, if it's a 4-year course, else what you will do, you'll be carrying over, be carrying over. The only reason that they can boldly still allow you to be carried over is because you're paying school fees. If the resources was on them, they will let you go. Right? So if, for example, you're supposed to have graduated in 2014 and you're still in 20 and it's now 2018 and you are costing the school money, they will leave you, they'll drop you. But they are fine because you are still paying what? Money. Right? So let's just calm down, chill, you'll be fine. Right? You'll be fine. That's why we talked about grit in the first place. See, the world is not fair. You don't that's just how it is. You have to work hard to get what you want. A lot of persons talk about work smart work, smart work, smart work. Smart work is not laziness. Smart work is actually hard work done in a smart way. But you have to work hard, right? A lot of the things that you do, that it feels like technology is making it easy. Hard work went into it to bring out that technology for you, right? So you have to work hard. And if working hard is not your forte, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe CodeCamp is not for you. That's why we actually introduced GRIT in the first place, right? So for some of you, you can see the requirements. I know some of you will be thinking, this kind of big thing, but trust me, if you allow this process to go through you, you'll be a better person, right? So that's that. I'm going to share this on the Discord. I won't share it on the chat. I'll share it on the Discord. You guys should go to Discord. Some of you don't like to come online. So let me just share the Discord, what's it called? The teams, right? So yes. So we have 4 groups for the beginner level, and we have 2 groups for the intermediate level. 4 groups beginner, 2 groups intermediate. So in the beginner, we have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. So if you can see it, fine. If you cannot, don't bother yourself, I'll drop it. So in group 1, we have Patrick, Patrick Ikim. I can't call all the names, but I'll just mention a few. Patrick Ikim, right? Faith Utobo. This is basically what we just got from LMS. So if you spelled it wrongly, it's not my Ken Joshua, Song Praise, Ken Balogun, that's some UIX persons, right? Node.js, you have Cassie, Ugo, Victor, and Kere, Emmanuel Adebayo, Uyime Willie, Emmanuel Favor, that's of front end, some persons, right? Yeah, so group 2, Benjamin, Boniface, Ugoma, Afa, Bateng, and a lot of persons. So, so this is what you should do. Please take care, take notes, right? So when you come to this document, right, you find your name. You can just do Control F now, type your name to show you where it is. Now, if you're in group 1, please pay attention. If you're in group 1, just click this link here where it says click to join group 1 team. And you'll be added, you'll join your group, right? The essence of that is I need to have everybody in the group so I can communicate the next step to you, right? Because you will definitely need to do, there's some other things, but I don't want to say that on the call, right? So if you find yourself in group 1, it means that this huge space here is for you. Click, you can just see it, click to join group 1. If you find yourself in group 2, click to join group 2 team. If you find yourself in group 3, you find yourself in group 4, right? So I want to see you guys join this group by this night, right? So for the intermediates, yes, you also have your own group to join. So once you find your name, you can see for the group 1, you have Sahid, Joshua Thomas, that's what, and a few others, Comfort and the likes. So for UI, UX, so Victory, my my co-anchor, if I'm going to call you that, you are in group 2. So Benny, I don't even know I didn't check which, my co-anchor Benny. Is your name Benny on the LMS? Is he still there? I don't think so. Your name is not Benny more. Benjamin. Okay, so you are Benjamin. Okay, good. You're Benjamin. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that means you're in group 2. Okay. You are in group 2. You are UX. Okay, so if you see your name and it is not the way it is, then just know that's probably how it is on the LMS. But if it's not the way it is, right? Just when you're added to the group, just raise that up and they will correct it. Okay, that's not a big issue. Okay, so both documents, right, will be shared on the announcements channel, or well, yeah, announcement channel on Discord once we are done with this meeting. So you go there, join the group, right? That's the very first thing, right? The very first thing you should do is to join your group. Then you can get into, because the capstone project stuff, this is something you actually have to go through together as a team, right? You go through together as a team. So take note of that, right? Okay, so I think that's basically that. So at this point, I'm going to just stop and take a few questions, and then we'll call it a night. So if you have a question, please do well to raise your hand. Okay, so 2 hands are raised. Okay, so Kingsley and David. So Kingsley, I'll start with you. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about the group. Will there be anything like team lead, and also will there be project manager to manage us in the group?
Okay, so the team lead will be assigned when you join the group, right? There's also the flexibility of you guys choosing your own team lead, right? But when you join the group, we'll sort that out. Now, as for project managers, no, you guys are managing yourself. Next question, David.
Okay, my question is concerning the project. Like, are we to do the project, then submit on the 18th of October, or just to bring our ideas on how to go through the project? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So if you check the documents, right, what I said was project idea submission. That's what you're doing on the
Okay, all right.
18th. Yeah. So what you guys have come together and decided to, build, right? That's what you present to me on the 18th, right? Okay, hey, this is what this is the solution we want to build. This is what we are calling it. This is the name. Probably this is the logo, if you can go that far, right? And stuff like that. So that's it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Benny, go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you once again. This is for clarification reasons. We like the stage 7 that is leading to stage 8. What if the person submits before the deadline, then the corrections is being like there's a comment? Can he work on the comment and then notify his or her mentor that he has done that, or maybe can participate in the project first?
Okay, so see the thing, right? I'm very careful to answer this particular question because, you know, Nigerians, we are very smart. Like, let me just say now, I'm not saying the world is not smart, right? But let me just start. Let me say this, right? Or, okay, let me just say human beings, right? Because I know there are some non-Nigerians with us, right? So human beings are very smart, very, very smart. And a lot of times we are smart in the negative. We are much more smarter. Now, if I say that, okay, if you submit before the deadline, we'll give you comment, we'll comment and then you can resubmit again or you can update it. A lot of you submit before deadline and what expect to be corrected, right? And which I would actually love for you to submit on time, right? But no, so if you submit before the deadline, whether you submit before the deadline or after the deadline, we will not give you a second chance. This is one of the things I said to one of you or one thing in your class or so. First impression, matters, right? It's something that I am also learning. I'm also trying to apply, right? We learn and keep learning. Whenever you're given something to do the best. In fact, if there is a word, best test, do the best test that you can in the first trial. Very, very important. Don't submit something that is half-baked, right? Because you feel you get comments. And someone made one statement in one of the classes, right? I'm not trying to diss you or anything, right? He said, I'm just a beginner. In fact, one other person was like, I'll just do the one I can do. Those statements are statements that they actually just see you're telling your brain, you're making your brain to just what, oh, okay, this is my limit. Or once I get to that limit, I will not try to push further, right? And once your brain takes that information, everything about you takes that information too. So build yourself to the point where you can give your best in the first trial. Because when you go, for example, you're going for a job interview, do you think you have a second chance? Do you think when you go for the interview and they ask all the questions, you have a second chance? So I want all of us to learn the words, get it first mentality. Have it. No, it does not mean, I'm not trying to say you should kill yourself. I'm not trying to say you cannot fail or whatever. No, of course, we're humans, right? Life can just do something, but learn to give your best the very first time that it is required of you, right? First impression matters. It's not all about relationship. It's not all about whatever, right? First impression matters in every aspect. Okay, so I'm sorry, I know it's probably is not the answer you were expecting, right? And it feels like we want you to fail. No, I don't want you to fail. In fact, to be honest with you, I even want to increase the cutoff mark for that last stage to 85. Can I tell you why? I want the best hands. I'm not trying to reduce people or whatever. No, we want the best to come out of CodeCamp because our name is at stake. If you are not the best and you come out and we put you somewhere and you fail or you misbehave or whatever, our name is at stake, right? So because I have to protect the name, right, I have to make sure I filter the best. And the best, can I tell you, is not always the smartest. I've had intelligent and smart people that I have chased out of CodeCamp that have failed. Of us fail because we don't follow instructions, not because we're not smart. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, any other question? Okay, so no other question. No other question, no other question. So that means we're fine. We're good. Okay, I'm just checking the comments now. Some of you are just calm down. Okay, don't 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 get yourself all worked up, right? Someone say, imagine getting high score 80, 85, 90, and then in stage 7 you score 50. Don't worry, it's not going to be that bad. You guys can handle it. Okay. No question. Someone said everybody's on sober reflection. Okay. Maybe you have questions. Okay. So I want to believe the E is silent, so I'm going to call you Ustes. I just want to believe the U is silent. I may be wrong. So probably just tell me your name and then go ahead with your question.
Good evening. Yeah. All right, the E silent is Eustace.
Okay,
My question
good,
is,
good.
before the last stage, is there whether you people should just give us maybe a week break before the stage 7 so that people that are lacking behind can, meet up then so that once you guys now give us the project, nobody will have any excuse for not meeting up, something like that.
Okay, so Eustace, to answer your question, right? There is always a week break before a task is given. The reason you're not seeing it is because you're behind, or maybe not you, someone else. So when you just finish one, because CodeCamp has moved forward, when you enter, there's already a task waiting for you. But CodeCamp is programmed that there is always a week gap before a task is given. So if a task is given this week, next week there's no task given, then upper week a task is given. That's how it actually is. But a lot of you are not seeing that because you are behind. You do not follow the deadline, right? You don't follow the timeline. So by the time you have wasted enough time and then you just submit and they grade you and you're promoted, you're already seeing another task. So all you're doing is catch up, catch up, catch up, catch up. So most of you are playing catch up. So that's actually how it is. Okay, there's actually there's a week of rest, but you're not resting because you're behind. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, maybe for those that does the catch up, give them another catch up.
You want to catch up with you want to catch up the catch up.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
no, I wish I could, but I can't. Right. We have a timeline to follow. Right. We have a timeline to follow. So my apologies. So just catch up now so that you can rest, give it that energy to catch up so that at that point you will enjoy the rest. We still have a few weeks to the project phase, right? I think we have about 2 more tasks, right? So there is time for rest. So just when you're trying to run a marathon and you're a bit behind, you have about 5 more persons, in front of you, right? You just need to push to get even if you just get second position. So you need to push to overcome those 3%, right? And you run in such a way that you're probably giving them enough gap that you can slow down and take in air. That's just it. So catch up now so you can rest later. Okay. Any other question? Let me see. Seems there are a few questions on the chat. Let's see. When will the project stage start? Yeah, I actually posted that calendar stuff, but like I said, so I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen, right? So you don't okay. So from what I have here, like I said, it starts on the 13th of November and it ends on the 4th of December. So that's for those who want to who for the person who asked about that. Any other question? Someone says even if you give 1 month break, some people won't still meet up. Well, that's actually the truth, though. You can't actually satisfy everybody. Someone said, and also, will each person create his own version of the project, or it is a collective project? It's a group project, so you're not creating any version, right? It's a group project. You're all working as a team to build a product, right? So you're not. But and this is one thing I should also state, right? Don't think, right? In case probably some of you're now calculating how you'll be unserious when you're in the group. Don't think the group may just because the group submits a product and we accept the product doesn't mean everybody in the group. Everybody in the group does the project rather, but not everybody in the group will be certified. Now, let me repeat myself. Joining the group, right, makes you a finalist. Doing the work makes you a finalist and a certified finalist. So let me put it that way. So don't think that probably if you join the group and then they'll give you tasks, all of a sudden your laptop has issue, all of a sudden one thing happen, and then they will build the product for you. And then you will now come and, claim group member. No. Of course, I'm going to have a lot of things in place, right? You can still be in that final state and I kick you out of the program very straight up. I've kicked out, if you don't know, I've kicked out a few persons because of some things. So don't even think that, right? So don't think that just because you're in a group, you're under a canopy that will cover you. Trust me, when rain fall, that place you're standing, all of a sudden there'll be hole there, and that rain will touch you. So make sure you're serious. Okay, I think that's all for questions. I think that's all for questions. Okay, okay, Kingsley, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I want to ask another question. Peradventure, if a group, let's say a group failed, but like a particular developer tried his best, he made a very good effort, but lack of contributions or lack of let's say lack of contribution from other developer makes the group failed to deliver the product. Will there be a kind of compensation for the developer?
Okay, so let me answer this I'm going to answer this in a way that may make you uncomfortable, even if I'm very sure it means different things about both of us, but I'll definitely not tell you my own meaning. And I'll put it like this: if the team fails, everybody fails. Now I need you to understand what teamwork is. That's something each and every you have to learn it, because the job you're looking for, whatever tech job it is, you're not the only person that will build the product. You work with a team. And I'm telling you from experience, I've had to be in a team where they removed some persons because they were not team players, not because they did not know the job. They are smart. They they know it, but they let them go because they were not team players. Because in the end, the product is the goal, right? The product is the goal. It may mean, if it means changing, removing, dropping, whatever, a company is ready to do whatever. A company is ready to overhaul the staff. The company is ready to sack everybody and bring new persons. Why? because of the goal. The goal is bigger than any individual, because in spite of whoever the individuals are, right? If the company is the company, if they don't get to do what they have to do, the company is what has failed, not them. You will not, they won't say, okay, it is the assistant operations manager, it is the junior software developer. No, 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 no. It's the owner of the company. It's the company itself that takes the fall, right? So, regardless of the individuals, the goal is primary, the product is primary. So, it may mean two things. It may mean that you, as an individual, may make you have to learn to be a team player, or it may mean that you, as an individual, you have to learn to make others but team players. Means you have to learn to probably tolerate them. You have to learn to probably get them to do things, right? There's a lot. See, you guys, I said this before. KodeCamp, you will learn not just coding, you will learn a lot of things if you do what you're told, because these are practical things that you will meet when you get a job. They are practical things, and you're meeting them early. You should be grateful. You're meeting them early, like you're meeting them what early, right? So allow this process to go through you, because we are giving you real life scenarios you meet when you go out, when you get that job that you're looking for. You work in a team. So if the product is not delivered, it means the team has what failed, right? And what happens when the team fails? I don't know. Well, okay, let me not say I don't know. I know Shaba won't tell you, right? But trust me, you don't want to find out at this point, right? It may or may not demoralize you. You know, the thing is, people use information to find loopholes for them to what exert their own will and do whatever they like. So sometimes I withhold certain information and it feels like I took you by surprise. But if I say it earlier on, there are people who are so smart in the negative that they'll find one loophole, right? So I'm gonna leave that to me. But just know that if the team fails, the team is you. The team is the other developer. If this product is not delivered, you all have what failed. So it's either you become a team player if you're not, or you become a manager, someone who can manage situations, someone who can manage people, someone who can bring people together and make sure, look, see, I may not like you, but we have a job to do. You may be sounding rude and whatever. It's not just 1 month. After this 1 month, I may not see you again. If you see me outside, can you even talk to me? So I will endure you. Let's just finish. The goal is more important than the human being. Okay. So I hope I've answered that question. Okay. 2 more minutes for questions, and then we will shut down. 2 more minutes for questions, and then we will shut down. Someone says indirect threat. No, no, no. I'm not threatening. I'm not threatening. I'm basically just telling you reality. So any other question? Yeah, take notes. Take notes. Very important. 1 more minute. Please ask your questions. I need you to be very clear. There's no any question at all. It has to be so that you're what clear, right? The group sharing is who says the group sharing is what in e-tech? I don't know. Probably check what you typed. E-tech, confirm what you typed. Okay, Jason, go ahead. While E-tech confirms what he typed rather. Jason, go ahead.
My question is the reward for, like, let's say the pass mark for the stage 8 is the certification.
The pass mark.
Yeah, like what you get, like the scoring way for
You mean the
the
cutoff
stage 8.
mark?
Yeah, the mark for the stage 8 is no, not actually the cutoff mark. Like your score.
What happened to your score now?
Like the
I'm
score
trying to.
you get, the score you get after you do the stage 8 is the certification, or we have scores then before the certification. Let's don't find out.
Okay, you're losing me now. Okay, so hold, let me see if I can get you. Now, let's assume you're in stage 8 now, right? Is it what you're saying? The score you get when you're in stage 8.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And okay, well, you'll get to know that when you get there, right? You get to know that, so don't worry about it. If you've gotten to stage 8, you're I would say in a way you're just one finger away from the promised land. So don't worry about the score. Don't worry, you get to know that during the project phase. Okay, so ETech say, is it among, let me, okay, no, each group is made up, okay, so ETech, each group is made up of every track. Every track is represented in each group. So in a group, you have UI UX, you have, for beginner, for example, you have UI UX, you have front end, you have back end, you have Android, because you're building a product. So it's not separate. Listen, each group has every track represented. Okay, Jason, your hand is still up. Do you have another question or something? Okay, it's Kinsley that has another question. Okay, Kinsley, go ahead. So we shut down.
Okay. The question I want to ask is okay, like how would I answer it? Okay, you separated the group among the beginners and the intermediates, right? So basically, does that mean that the intermediate tax is going to be more harder than the beginners project?
What track are you on?
No, just intermediate.
Okay. So you want to name your own Vihada?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so well, the thing is this, right? You guys are the one, like I said, each group is coming up with their product, right? So it's not about a harder or whether it's harder or not, right? It's all about product driven. So the thing I'm going to say is this: what I'll look out for is this: if the idea, the delivery of a beginner project or product is better than an intermediate, I'll look into people's matter with Google. You know, there's goggles, right? Yes, goggles. For some of you that pronounce Google as Google, right? Goggles is different. You know, that's lens kind of thing. And I'll look at you people with goggles, like, to be sure. I need to check your destiny to be very sure that it's very clear, right? So it's not about whether it's going to be more difficult or not. You guys are the one coming up with the project idea, right? So whatever you come up with, please, I think I have said it. Whatever you come up with is subject to what adjustments. Like I said, we're going to give you guys certain level of flexibility, but understand that even that I can still change it. So if you're the type that I give my opinion, they don't accept it, I don't give it again. Better start now to repent. That's actually a very, very wrong way to live. Just because you gave your opinion once, they didn't accept it, decide to shut down. That's actually not cool, right? Because you're basically saying that you're right and it must be accepted. And these two things are not, you can't actually even validate it, right? So it's not about whether it's going to be difficult, but of course, I'm going to expect more from you guys, right? I'm going to expect more because you're intermediate. Okay. I Abi here. I want to assume that the first R is silent. So I'm going to pronounce your name as Abi here. Maybe I'm wrong or right. Go ahead. But tell us
It's
your name
a
first.
it's a birire.
Okay, the H is silent instead.
Yes, a
Oh,
birire. It's not a
Abire. Oh,
B IR or a birire. No, a
sorry,
birire.
don't be don't
Thank
be don't
you.
be offended. Don't be offended. Which state are you from?
I'm not. I'm from Delta.
Delta State. Okay, go ahead with your question.
Okay, so I'd like to know if at the end of the project, are there any perks attached to coming out tops or anything as in place of job placements or mentorship or as in any
Oh,
side attractions?
okay. I've been waiting for this question. We humans, we like motivation, right? We like something to ginger us and all the stuff like that. Okay, let me answer you. Okay, so no, first of all, right, everyone who becomes a finalist, right, you are qualified for the internship, right? Finalists are qualified for what? Internship, called Code House internship, right? That's one thing you should note. Secondly, I'm trying not to let the cat out of the bag. I think that's how they say it. Because one of the things I like to do, or I like to teach people, is not to do things for the gratification that comes with it. Because sometimes the gratification may or may not be what you think. And you might now be heartbroken or whatever. Do things because it's the right thing to do. Gratification can come later. Okay. There are a few things that are in the works for those who will come out best, but I cannot say that. Right. Number one, is not even in my place to say it. Right. But what I can tell you is this, like assuredly tell you is this: coming out the best is the best thing you can do for yourself. That's what I can tell you. Because if not for anything, I cannot refer somebody that is not the best in CodeCamp to anybody. So one thing you have even just done by being the best is that you have shown us that we can pick you whenever we need you, or we know someone that needs you. Currently, there is somebody in this particular cohort that some of you know that just got an internship opportunity with a company. I think that was 2 weeks ago, that we actually just linked her to, right? I'm not going to say her name or the track she's on, right? But she's still in CodeCamp, and she got that opportunity, and she's actually working, right? So I cannot and will not have probably referred, CodeCamp wouldn't have probably referred or given that opportunity if to a great extent she did not show what, a certain level of excellence, a certain level of, okay, I can do this, right? So being the best is the best thing you can do for yourself. Forget about any gratification that comes with it, right? It's all about what value. When you are valuable, right, things come after you. But it's when you're not valuable that you begin to chase things, right? So become valuable, okay? So that's just how I can put it, right? I don't want to say a few things that I'm not supposed to say. Okay, I think we'll actually round up now. But I don't think I will do that without you know, calling on my boss, the founder of Code House. I hope he's available, because he's usually a very busy person. The founder of Code House is actually the reason why we've had CodeCamp 1.0, CodeCamp 2.0, and we now have CodeCamp 3.0. For some of you, you guys need to take a step back and ask yourself, wait though, all these things we are learning is even for free. Like, we're not even paying anymore. We did not pay for any of these things. That's because one individual has a passion to build the skill economy. One individual has a passion towards train people, right? He wants Nigerian youth to be, well, let me not just make it about Nigeria, but of course, charity begins at home, right? To be tech savvy, because there are opportunities in tech. Tech is, you've heard people say tech is the new oil and everything, right? So a lot of persons have been touched by CodeCamp because of one individual who has another individual by his side in the person of Sir Lawrence Akugwe, which we all should know, right? It's because of these two individuals that CodeCamp is here, right? Not me. So for some of you that used to say IKEys, I am nothing without them, right? You would never have known IKEys if this platform wasn't there. So yeah, I'm going to just call on him to say a few words, and then we actually call it a timeout. I really hope he's available. Engineer Betts, are you there?
Okay, good evening. Thanks, IK.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I've been listening, but I've also been multitasking. I actually have a class training people in Canada in the next 1 hour by 11 p.m. So I'll just make it quick, and I'll do that by answering the last question that was asked. And that last question was, what kind of opportunities do we have available right? To be honest with you, the answer is entirely up to you. Everything that IK has said is true. Nobody is going to recommend you if you're not the best. Because KodeCamp, our reputation in KodeCamp is number one, is primary. What I mean by number one is it is our number one priority, right? So we are always going to be looking for the best people, and we're always going to try to plug in the best people into the best jobs. But one thing that you have to understand is that this tech thing it's a journey, you know. It's not something that you just wake up and you start, you know, all this big money that they're announcing all over the place in social media and everywhere. You won't just wake up one day and get there, but you will get there. You need that grit. You know, that's why we started this whole thing with grit. You need that grit, and you need to continue, no matter how tough it is, even if you are left behind. Even the people on KodeCamp 3.0 currently who are behind, you should not give up. You should continue to push it. It is a continuous journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Some people get there first, but you can still catch up and even overtake, right? So that attitude of persistence, of determination, of consistency, of focus, of grit is the key thing, above all things, that will get you there. And yes, there will be opportunities. Part of the thing that KodeCamp will provide, at least at this level where we have beginners and intermediates, will be internship opportunities. We have a couple of partners that we are currently engaging with to, you know, help us provide internship opportunities for people in KodeCamp. And it's really the best that will get those opportunities, right? So that's why you have to strive to be among the best, okay? Then the other thing is, you know, the internship is still another step, right? It's just a step in the journey. Sometimes I tell people, okay, I know that right now priorities may be, okay, you need to earn some money. That's really why most people are here. That's why we're all here, right? You want to improve your financial situation and your financial stability. And you can do that. Tech gives you opportunity to do that, but there's also a lot of work that needs to go in there. So, but that being considered, there may be situations where you ask yourself, what is more important for me at this point? Is it having cash or is it having experience? And that is where sometimes if you have internship opportunities, even when you don't get paid much or you don't even get paid at all, the experience is valuable. In fact, the experience is your future earning. So if you cannot get, you know, paid well now, right? If you do get good experience, that good experience you are getting now will translate into good pay in the shortest future. So that's what I always tell people. So, but the tech, you know, the tech community is quite aware of all of this, and we always try to incentivize people as much as possible, but it also looks for the best people. And I'll never, you know, get tired of re-emphasizing that it looks for the best people. So, yeah, so I'm encouraging everyone. We are in the project phase now. The whole essence of this project phase is for you to gain experience. One thing is for you to write code in your isolated corner of the world. Another thing is for you to write code in collaboration with a large number of people. This is the skill that you will learn here. And the main skills that you get, apart from the technical skills, which you have already learned in the last couple of weeks, would also be soft skills, your ability to communicate, leadership skills. This is where we'll begin to identify those who have leadership, you know, abilities. There may be a few people here who they won't write any code, but they know how to drag everybody else to go and write code. And funny enough, it's those people that get the best jobs because they know how to get other people to do their work for them. You know, that's what a manager is basically, on a lighter note. But you see, that's where we identify people with these kinds of skills, soft skills, ability to lead, ability to drive, communication with other people, conflict resolution. There will definitely be conflicts when you are in this project stage. This one will be pushing. And when I say conflict, I'm not even talking of Git conflict. That one is another wala that you people will face when people will be overwriting other people's code and you have to resolve conflicts. But there will also be the normal conflicts we are aware of where people will be fighting each other on Zoom or on Google Meet. And almost if it were face-to-face, they might even start punching each other. But being able to handle those situations and come out on top is what would differentiate each group, from the other. Being able to separate yourself from others. So soft skills is very important. In fact, a lot of developers fail job interviews because of lack of soft skills. It's not even really the technical ability. You might be very good technically, but the soft skill of follow-up, right? Resolving conflicts, of being able to work unsupervised, delivering on deadline, delivering on timeline, engaging, communication. When you have difficulties or challenges, you just keep quiet and stay there and say, I don't know if you do this thing or let it be like that. Or do you ask somebody a question? Hey, I'm having this difficulty. Can you help me out? There are a lot of people who are vocal like that on Discord. I see you guys. Well done and kudos to those people. But there are also some people called lurkers, right? You just hang around in the background. You read all the chat, or they read all the chat on Discord, but they will not type one single thing. One pin, they will not type. And those kind of people don't make progress because you cannot help yourself if you're not asking people questions and getting answers. So those are some of the skills that you should be looking to learn, as well as the experience of being able to build a project. And of course, your own satisfaction that I have built a project and it has been deployed, right? And those skills, those experiences will now become important. They'll come into play when you go for internships. And then after internships, you gain more experience. You're now dealing with a lot more people. And then after that, you can now start talking of job placements and things like that when your skills are a bit more. So take this opportunity and take it seriously. Try to be the best. Try to be a good one in your team. Try to be a leader. Try to be a helper, one who facilitates and helps to get things done. And I believe you enjoy this stage. I'm looking forward to all the projects. I'm also available to help where needed. But of course, you guys are very good mentors. I've seen all the comments and chats. You have really good mentors, starting from IKs to all the rest of them, everybody else. There are many of them here, and I won't want to mention, that day will come when we'll mention everybody's name. So let's keep it going. There is, like they always say in Nigeria, there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? Somebody wants to ask why they don't put the light at the beginning, so we use it and pass through the tunnel. But you see, there are two kinds of lights. There's the lights that you use to pass through the tunnel, and then there's the light that indicates that you have reached the end of the tunnel, and that's the one we're talking about. So you get there, we'll get there, and hopefully I wish everybody success by the time we get to the end of KodeCamp. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Yvette. Thank you so much for this opportunity, right? See, that's the thing I want you guys to understand, right? KodeCamp is an avenue to grow. I have actually grown personally, right? I always sometimes when I'm given the opportunity, I like to talk about this, right? The very first time, I'm actually a developer, right? When I was say by career, right? But when I was given the opportunity or privilege rather, like I would like to always call it, to handle KodeCamp, it was my first time of actually handling this number of people. I've not had to manage people before, right? But it was not the time for me to say, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this. I had to learn how to do this. I know product design now, it's because I decided to manage KodeCamp, because I have to know what I'm going to mentor people on. I picked up a lot of skills just having to work through KodeCamp, right? You can do the same. It's not a time to. I want you guys to be like a dog with a bone. One thing, no matter how strong that bone is, dogs, they almost never give up until they are done with that bone. I've actually seen a dog try so hard with a bone, it did not work. He swallowed the bone. Like I've seen a dog swallow the bone. He tried so hard. It was not, he swallowed the bone, right? What was he trying to say? No matter what, you will not defeat me. And that's the spirit I want you guys to have, right? Don't allow yourself to what, give up. Do not allow yourself to what, give up. You're just so close. So close to the end, right? So close to the end. And I wish you guys the best, right? I wish you guys the best, and I wish you good lucks, right? So I'm gonna be dropping, like I said, I'll drop the link on the Discord, the announcement channel. So do well to pick up, join your groups. Please do not join a group you are not supposed to be in. Can I, and let me sound this as a, okay, it's not a warning, right? It's it's what's it called? There's a word for it, sharp. Let me just notify you. The slightest of thing can actually kick you out of this program. The slightest. You'll be so surprised, just small. A simple thing as I say, don't join a group you're not supposed to be in, and you join. I see you. I will not tell you. I'll just remove you because you've proven that you do not follow instructions. And we want to raise people who follow instructions, right? Because those are the people that get to keep their job. They're not the people that actually just get the job. Your skill can get you a job, but your character that will keep you there, right? So please, once you check the sheet, you see your name, join your respective group, right? And then you can get to know yourself. I'm in all the groups. We'll get to converse, and then we'll follow up from there. But I need everyone to join that group as soon as possible, on or before the end. So once you join the group, you get the document, you can start up your conversations, and everything will kick off from there. So thank you very, very much. Please take the weekend to finish up every task you've done. Once you're done, you can reach out to your mentor for grading, and please do it politely. Do well to reach out to your mentors in a polite manner. One of the things that I will not take anybody being rude to a trainer or a mentor anymore. Once I sense it in your statement, I remove you. As simple as that. Removing is like my default right now. More like separating the sheep from the other animal. I don't want to call it, right? So thank you guys very much, right? Do have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.